What you doing, son?
Nothing. Just chilling.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to Ghostface Shorty Games, and today I'm going to be starting off a new top 10 series I'm going to be doing where we'll be counting down my picks for the top 10 favorite video games of all time. For this list, I'll be choosing the franchise as a whole for each number and then choosing a specific title out of that franchise as my favorite one. Think Breath of the Wild to the Legend of Zelda series as a whole. Let it be noted that these games are just my personal favorite games and are in no way supposed to represent the best games in their respective franchises, nor are they supposed to claim to be the best games in any respects, period. I recognize that you might have a different opinion, and that's alright.
Oh, here we go again.
Make sure to comment below what your favorite video game franchise is. And with that out the way, let's get into it.
Here we go!
Number 10, Mega Man Battle Network, specifically Battle Network 3. Now, I'll be the first to admit, the whole Mega Man train definitely tried to stop at my station when I was a kid, but unfortunately, I must have overslept that day because I just never really been a huge fan of the franchise. Yeah, they're fun, but I just never really been that into platformers, not since my adolescent days when that was the norm, of course. But that's where Battle Network comes into play. The Mega Man Battle Network series is a set of action role-playing video games developed by Capcom, set in a futuristic world where people use personal devices called pets to interact with the internet and control what they call net nabbies, or digital companions that assist with various tasks. This game definitely had that strong Y2K feel, as they took the old trope that is Mega Man and tried to intertwine it with the ever-popular internet craze of the early 2000s. Some of it doesn't exactly stand the test of time, though. Players assume the role of our young hero Lan, a young boy and his net nabby Mega Man. Together, they combat computer viruses, navigate cyberspace, and thwart cyber terrorism threats. The series is known for its real-time grid-based battles, strategic card-based combat system, and a rich narrative that explores themes of technology, friendship, and the consequences of digital interconnectedness. The game style was much more my speed of a game since I was a hardcore Pokemon fan, so the whole trainer-partner dynamic just always really worked great for me. Battle Network 3 Blue is my pick for best title out of this series, and I highly recommend. Number 9, Dark Souls, Elden Ring. Now, before Elden Ring, I had played all of 2 hours of Dark Souls 2, where I was tortured over and over again by a complex, unforgiving battle system that I at the time did not understand. If you think you're just gonna hack and slash your way through this one, you better think again. Elden Ring is an action role-playing video game developed by From Software and published by Bandai Namco. It's a highly anticipated title known for its collaboration between famed game director Hidetaka Miyazaki and author George R.R. Martin, creator of popular franchises such as Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. Set in the dark fantasy world called The Lands Between, Elden Ring features an intricate narrative and open-world exploration. Players assume the role of the Tarnished, an outcast who embarks on a quest to conquer the Elden Ring, a powerful entity that has been shattered, causing chaos to the world. The game is renowned for its challenging combat, intricate lore, and vast open worldness filled with diverse environments, creatures, and intricate lore.
The Golden Order is broken to its core.
Number 8, Cyberpunk. Now, we all know that when this game was first released, it was nothing short of a buggy, chaotic mess. With a game that was announced and in development over 9 years before its initial release, there was definitely a lot of hype and expectation behind this game that some people may feel as though CD Projekt didn't live up to. But as with any AAA title, there's always expected to be bugs, and eventually devs seem to have corrected most of the issues, if not for a few tiny ones. Cyberpunk 2077 is an open-world action role-playing video game developed and published by CD Projekt Red. Set in the dystopian future of Night City, it offers players a sprawling and visual stunning cityscape to explore. In the game, you assume the role of V, a customizable mercenary with a quest to achieve fame and fortune in the high-tech, cyber-enhanced society. The game is renowned for its deep narrative, offering branching storylines and choices that impact the outcome. It also features a wide range of characters, each with their own unique stories and quests. Number 7, Persona 5 Royal Edition. Now, if you're anything like me, then the weeb is strong within you, and you've on more than one occasion caught yourself wishing that you spent your youth as a Japanese schoolboy by day and magical Pokemon collecting crime fighter by night. No? Just me?
You what?
Okay. Persona 5 Royal is an enhanced edition of the critically acclaimed video game Persona 5. Developed by Atlus, it adds new content and improvements to the original. Players step into the shoes of high school student in Tokyo who moonlights as a phantom thief. You, along with your group of friends, explore a supernatural realm called the Metaverse to steal hearts of corrupted adults. More than just crime fighting, Persona does an excellent job of allowing players to experience more than just the action. Your days are dictated by time slots that with only a certain amount of time to do things like build relationships, train, or finagle with that latest schoolgirl crush.
Wow!
You'll have to manage your days accordingly as to be able to get things you prioritize most done. Persona 5 Royal introduces new characters, story arcs, and locations to the original. It also enhances gameplay with new mechanics such as grappling hook for exploration and additional personas for combat. The addition deepens character development, offers more opportunities for social interactions and decision making. Overall, Persona 5 Royal provides an extended and refined experience of the beloved JRPG, making it a must-play for fans of the series. Number 6, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Sacred Cards. Now, the holy trinity of my life growing up was as is: Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, and of course Yu-Gi-Oh! There wasn't a boot 7th grade shorty wouldn't lick if he was promised even a chance at some free Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. I've spent countless hours playing various Yu-Gi-Oh! Games as well as the TCG, but one stands out to me the most is Sacred Cards. Yu-Gi-Oh! The Sacred Cards is a role-playing game released for the Game Boy Advance. In this game, you play the role of a duelist in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe where they engage in card battles against various characters from the anime and manga respectively. The game's primary objective is to collect and build a powerful deck of cards to complete in the Battle City tournament. Quick side note, I find it amazing, one, how many people in the Yu-Gi-Oh! World actually play the card game. Like, they have a full citywide sanctioned sponsored tournament with huge stadium battles to go with it. And when a grown man would lose to a little kid, he would just accept defeat. Like, you know that's a kid, right? Besides beating him in a child's card game, like, nothing is really stopping you from giving this kid a quick pow right in the kisser to prove your point. Anyways, in the Sacred Cards, players progress through a storyline that closely follows the Battle City arc from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, facing off against iconic characters such as Yugi, Kaiba, and many more. What separates Sacred Cards from a lot of other Yu-Gi-Oh! Games is that it was more of an RPG than just a standard TCG simulator. You could actually move around, interact with the people in the city. It just really made you feel like you were in the Yu-Gi-Oh! World. At least for me it did anyways. Number 5, Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 13. Now, Final Fantasy is a franchise that dates back damn near to the beginning of video games. With the first Final Fantasy being released in 1987, they have continued to put out new and innovative games throughout the years and are still going strong 30 years later. Now, as I can tell by your shocked faces, I can indeed tell you that I am a lover of Final Fantasy 13. Yes, one of, if not the most hated one in the series, happens to actually be my favorite one out of all of them. I was introduced to Final Fantasy on the Game Boy in the early 2000s. You know, I wasn't really invested in it, or I just didn't seem to care that much. In my defense, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Games were pretty much just exclusively all I played back then. You know, they had a grip on my soul, man. So picture this. The year is 2012. I just moved to Texas. I have no friends. I'm working at Walmart of all places. I didn't really have much going for me. And then I found this game. The stunning visuals, immersive story took me by storm at the time, and for the next 100+ hours, I'll be hooked. Final Fantasy 13 is a role-playing game developed and published by Square Enix. Set in the fictional world of Cocoon, it follows the story of Lightning, a former soldier who becomes entangled in a conflict between the human inhabitants of Cocoon and the mysterious beings known as the Fal'Cie. These Fal'Cies take certain individuals, including Lightning and her companions, with a mission called a Focus. The game is notable for its linear progression in the early stages, with a focus on storytelling and character development. As players progress, the gameplay opens up, offering more exploration and customizable options. Final Fantasy XIII features a unique combat system known as the Paradigm Shift, where players can switch between different roles for each character during battle. The narrative explores themes of fate, rebellion, and the struggle of freedom against a controlling power. With its visually stunning graphics and memorable characters, Final Fantasy XIII is part of a popular Final Fantasy series and was released for both critically acclaimed and some controversy due to its gameplay. While I can admit the game is pretty much exclusively linear for most of the storyline, the story can be a bit convoluted at times. The game still does an amazing job placing you in this world and making you feel the emotions that these characters are feeling. Besides, 13-2 was released and made massive improvements on the trilogy. Though I'll always have a soft spot for the original just because of nostalgia and the time in my life where when I didn't have much of anything going or anybody, I had Lightning in the gang. Number 4, Apex Legends. Now, if you know me, watch this channel, or have had any interaction with me at all in the last, I'd say about 2 years, then you'll know that I am a whore for this game, Apex Legends. Besides my first pick on the list, I probably put more hours into this game than any other, which is saying a lot since my number 1 pick I've been playing since I was a kid. Apex Legends is a free-to-play battle royale video game developed by Respawn Entertainment and published by EA. Set in the same universe as Respawn's Titanfall, it takes place in a futuristic world where players are grouped into squads of 3 legends with unique abilities and skills. The game is known for its fast-paced, team-based action. Players must work together to outlast and outgun other squads on the map, which feature a variety of environments and terrains. Apex Legends distinguishes itself from a diverse cast of legends, each with their own special abilities, adding a layer of strategy to the gameplay. Now, to get personal for a second, in 2020, my house was broken into, and a lot of things of mine, mostly my electronics, were stolen. I was able to get a majority of the things back, so no worries there. One of the things being my PS4. Now, with an event like getting robbed being so bad, it comes to my surprise that out of the horrible time, something great came of it. See, I got my PS4 back. I saw the person who stole it had downloaded a game called, you guessed it, Apex Legends. And this is where my obsession began. Though it was COVID, I was working from home, so let's just say the majority of my work consisted of me half-assing my real job while simultaneously playing this game. And when I say majority, I mean all. All of my time at work was spent on this game. The fact that I did not get fired, beyond me. But yeah, before this, really the last shooter I played was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, so I guess it's safe to say that Apex revived the genre for me. And low-key introduced me to a more specific genre as well, Battle Royales. Shut up, Fortnite! Number 3, Xenoblade Chronicles. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Now, keeping with the trend of COVID Day games, we have none other than one of my absolute favorite game franchises out there, Xenoblade Chronicles. Specifically 2 for me. Each of these games are like Final Fantasy games in the sense that you don't have to have played a previous game to keep up with the story of the next one, although you might miss out on some of the common tropes throughout the series. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is an action role-playing game developed by Monolith Soft and published by Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch. Set in a vast and imaginative world, the game follows the story of Rex, a young salvager who discovers a powerful living weapon known as a blade named Pyra. Together, Pyra and other blade companions, Rex embarks on a journey to find the mythical paradise known as Elysium. The game is known for its expansive open-world environments and real-time combat system. Players control a party of characters, each bonded with blades that grant them unique abilities and weapons. Again, with the whole Pokemon companion dynamic that I seem to be so into. The combat emphasizes strategic positioning and the synergy between characters and their blades. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 features a deep and an emotional engaging narrative with a focus on themes like friendship, trust, and the consequences of power. Its vast and visually stunning game, along with its complex graphic mechanics, makes it a standout title in the action RPG genre and a beloved addition to the Xenoblade series. Side note, it also made your boy cry at the end, so shout out Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Number 2, Pokemon. Pokemon Soul Silver. Oh man, where do I begin? Pokemon, sweet, sweet Pokemon. My lifelong passion. The one thing that's always been there throughout the years. I'm a Pokemon fanatic. I played every generation, many spin-offs, invested multiple hundreds of hours in Pokemon Go, collected cards. I've even gotten my son into it. Pokemon is definitely my favorite franchise out there. But wait a minute, how can I say that if it's not the number 1 spot? Well, shut up, okay? Look, I went back and forth for a while trying to juggle these 2 top choices, and ultimately, even though I spent pretty much most of my time on this franchise over any other one, being that I played it since I was like 9, the number 1 spot came in just a slight bit higher. But we shall get that at soon. Back to Pokemon. Being an OG Pokemon trainer, I'm going to have to say that Gen 2 is my favorite generation. But we all know the remake took this already amazing gen and made it even better. So for my pick for this franchise, I'm going with Pokemon Soul Silver. Not Heart Gold, because I always thought Lugia looked way better than Ho, and Ho looks like a burnt chicken. Pokemon Soul Silver is a role-playing video game for the Nintendo DS. It's an enhanced remake of the classic Pokemon Silver game for the Game Boy Color. In Soul Silver, players embark on a journey as a Pokemon trainer in the Johto region, capturing, training, and battling various Pokemon creatures, traveling the region to collect gym badges, and to become the champ. Key features of Pokemon Silver included a return to Johto, where players could explore the Johto region, encounter a wide range of Pokemon trainers and gym leaders, some new Pokemon that weren't initially around in the original generation. After completing the Johto storyline, players can also revisit the Kanto region from the original Pokemon Red and Blue games. The Pokemon following. One of the standout features is the ability to have a lead Pokemon follow your player character in the outer world, adding a personal touch to the adventure. The Pokewalker. Pokemon Soul Silver came packaged with a Pokewalker, a pedometer device that allowed players to transfer a Pokemon to it and experience points by walking around in the real world. Made you feel like you really had a Pokemon with you when you weren't playing the game. Overall, Pokemon Soul Silver is celebrated for its faithful recreation of the classic Pokemon Silver game, the enhanced modern features, improvements, just making it a beloved entry in the entire Pokemon franchise.
Pikachu, we steal you!
Honorable mentions: BioShock, BioShock 2, Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, The Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, Fortnite. Number 1, Mass Effect, Mass Effect 2. Alright y'all, this is it. This is the game. Before this game, the only real time I ever put any real type time into a game or actually had an emotional intelligence to be invested in a world was Pokemon. And that's right, I'm talking about Mass Effect. Mass Effect 2 in particular, to briefly summarize the franchise and the first game as a whole. The Mass Effect series is a renowned science fiction video game franchise developed by BioWare and published by EA. It's known for its rich narrative, character development, and expansive universe. The first game introduces Commander Shepard, a customizable protagonist who becomes the first human Spectre, an elite galaxy agent, so to speak. Think Highway Patrol, but for the galaxy. With just about as much privilege as a real trooper too, believe me.
Oh my gosh!
Shepard must navigate a complex interstellar society, make critical choices, and assemble a diverse team to thwart an impending threat passed by alien ancient race known as the Reapers. Mass Effect 2, which is the favorite game of mine out of the series, was released in 2010. In this sequel, Shepard is brought back from the dead by a shadowy organization to investigate the mysterious disappearance of human colonies. The game focuses on assembling a new team of characters, delving into their backstories, and building strong relationships. The choices made in this game significantly affect the outcome of the series. The second one really expands on the story we fell in love with in the first game and does a lot of the things better. Even takes some of the not so fun things out. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Mako. Overall, this game is an excellent choice to anyone looking to get into an excellent space opera with tons of planets to explore, many hours of side quests, awesome DLC, an eclectic cast of characters. This is my reason for choosing Mass Effect 2 in particular as my favorite video game franchise of all time. And that's gonna wrap it up for this video. So what do you guys think? How's my taste in video games? Make sure to comment down below and let me know your favorite games in the series. And if you could, please make sure to like and subscribe as it really helps a small baby YouTuber like me grow. Make sure to hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my new releases. And thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.